and ladies and gentlemen, viewer this way is advised. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Thank
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the one, the only, Wes Moody webcast. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. See, I managed to get up and set my alarm this time.
Oh, yes, man. Hell yes. We've been trying to do this for like almost a year, getting Wes on Mornings of Mischief, and I am so happy he is here this morning to talk about the giant boar fest that was Fake Trek Day.
Yes, indeed. Fake people, fake Trek. That seems to be what we're getting out of them.
But we don't have any fake people out there in the chat this morning. Good morning, Samantha, Joe, and Purple Valkyrie. The Valkyries are here, everyone. Philip A. Dimmick, good morning. Loriana Creel, good morning, Loriana Creel. Pat Stevens call, beat up Alex Kurtzman, good morning, brother. Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mountains of Elysium, Fenrir Fire, Mary's Game Room, Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, brother. Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches on YouTube. The King of Wrenches is here. Good morning. The Doctor of Destruction, the Master of Disaster, Adega Outlaw is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Adega. Jeff Franklin, how are you doing, brother? Shellback TJC, Sit Room, good morning. Project Storytime, how you doing there, brother? Good morning, everyone. Captain Shrek, Vegas, 333. Good morning. Good morning. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here this morning to talk about the failure of CBS and what the hell they've been doing wrong. And is it any surprise that they basically spent all day yesterday sniffing their own farts?
That's pretty much exactly what happened. Is it a surprise, though? No. Although, the smugness and the out of touchness, every time you see it, it's almost like I'm sniffing their farts, just like a wall of machaca burrito, incontinence. You walk into a really nasty fart and it just like you almost go cross-eyed and pass out for a second. That's kind of what happens, when you walk into their farts.
And it's so sad considering what Star Trek used to be, what Star Trek means to every single one of us that have loved Star Trek, that they're just taking this woke brigade. And, it's been said that Lower Decks is the best Star Trek since Enterprise. And my argument to that is that shit is still shit. You can dress shit up in a nice little pretty bow and show it off, but it's still shit at the end of the day.
Indeed it is. Well, I'd have to agree that it is the best the best Trek since Enterprise. And also I think I made the analogy that which one is worse or which one is better, Discovery or Picard. And I made the analogy. I said, well, that's like the difference between diarrhea and vomit, and lower decks is, it's a nice, well-formed pile of lumpy, corny shit. So there you go.
And Purple Valkyrie brings up no love for Archer on the poster, though. They even had an Enterprise panel, and no love for Archer. They don't care. It was no love for anybody. The only reason why Kirk is on there is that they had to put him on there. They had to. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but I mean, making him the size on the poster that they made him. I mean, that's so petty. Really. I mean, come on. I mean, what they did to the character of Icheb because they didn't like the actor, and Star Trek Picard. I mean, this pettiness. I mean, so you're supposed to be running a show that's about optimism and overcoming differences, and you're doing this petty shit. I mean, come on. It's a really bad look.
Yeah, and apparently William Shatner called out Alex Kurtzman and CBS for making him so tiny on the poster on Twitter. They don't care. They don't care about the history of Star Trek. They don't care about the love for Star Trek. All they care about is their message. And they made that abundantly clear on the panels too.
Yeah, they really did, and they're missing the point of Star Trek. The whole point is, as far as the optimism of, first of all, humanity will have overcome. They keep claiming to understand Gene Roddenberry's vision. The whole point is that humanity has overcome all that stuff, and that by using aliens to show us, darkness lurks in all of us. But what original Trek did was they would show through, the allegory of using the aliens, for example, Devil in the Dark, that we have this darkness and we have to struggle with it in ourselves, and that's a window into the past of humanity when it wasn't like that. And by using aliens, maybe somebody that wouldn't be open to a message, of the optimistic future, that it would get through to them. And what they're doing by using the humans and really injecting. I mean, they even said on the panel that, it's a progressive vision. It's a progressive vision. It's a progressive vision. Well, but that it's not what Gene Roddenberry wasn't into left-wing politics the way that we have them today, the SJW politics, the identity politics. That wasn't his thing. He was first and foremost a storyteller. And if you're gonna pick a side and put that in the human world, you haven't really overcome your differences, because if in that future, if you're picking a side and putting a thumb on the scale, I mean, it just pisses me off.
I completely agree. And we have a 1999 super chat from Mexican Iron Man, who says, Wes has an amazing view in chat on Star Trek Continues. Very poignant and emotional. A must watch for everyone in chat. By the way, debating Picard versus Lower Decks is like which war went worse for America, Korea or Vietnam. I completely agree with that. And I just threw Wes Moody's link out for his channel in chat. Guys, if you haven't watched Wes Moody's channel, check it out. If you like his content, please subscribe and hammer that notification bell. And we have a big skull for Mexican Iron Man. Do you want to do this with me, Wes?
Sure.
All right, Mexican Iron Man, skull!
There it is! It's you! Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Sorry, I guess I missed the cue.
Oh, it's cool, brother. Thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man.
Yes, thank you, Mexican Iron Man, for that. That's high praise coming from you, my friend. And again, thank you, everybody in the chat. We really do have the best chat on YouTube in this amazing community.
We do. I love my chat in the morning. I love getting to talk to everyone I get to talk to. It is an honor. It is a privilege. Thank you guys so very much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support you guys have shown over the last year. It really does kick ass. I've been doing this a year now, officially. I uploaded my first rant video in September. It is now September. I didn't start the morning streams till January. But Vigilante Williamson, there's a difference between a classic liberal and extreme leftist. That is the difference between Roddenberry's vision and what they are doing now. I completely agree with that too.
Yes, absolutely.
And Pat Stephen Skull says, Wes, show us your feet.
Be happy to. But I don't have my camera on. Sorry. You have to wait till next time.
And Philip A. Dimmick, Wes, they go out of their way to make Gene Roddenberry sound like a loony instead of embracing his vision.
They do, Phil. They simultaneously seem to praise him and then also kind of put him down a little bit. And I mean, look, man, if you want to make Star Trek, make Star Trek. And if you don't want to make Star Trek, make something else. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah, and what we've been getting just isn't Star Trek.
It's not, and Kurtzman, I mean, I don't know that he meant to admit this much, but he said it repeatedly that it's a platform for basically their agenda, and that they're going to use it as a platform for that. And that's, if and so basically, they're kind of parasiting off of Star Trek for their agenda. And again, if you want to do that, do something else. Let it stand on its own merit. But I think you're seeing from folks like us and the fandom menace here in our amazing chat that we saw through this years ago, and they're just now they're uncloaking, and they're making they're openly telling us exactly what they view Star Trek as, and that's a vehicle for their own identity politics.
Yeah, and that's what we've been getting is a whole shitload of shilling and identity politics. They want to make money. They want to make money off of this movement. I've seen this more and more and more from Disney. We'll see if that gets me demonetized. Just by saying Disney with an F. It's all a way for them to take a knee and to show how politically correct they are, and to show how woke they are, and to show how shill they are. And we have these pillars of diversity, folks. We have these pillars. We do scissor meetings, everyone. We get together and we scissor every afternoon. And it's so tiring. It's almost exhausting. And a $5 super chat from MB Geek Let's Talk says, CBS, we can't remember that TNG did an entire race that was non-binary back in 1992, and they cry when they were called on it. Learn your damn IP. They don't know their damn IP. MB Geek Let's Talk. And I'm going to give you a big one here, brother. Skull!
There it is! Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Thank you so very much, NB Geek Let's Talk. It's just a woke brigade. That's all it is the woke brigade. And anybody who talks about it, anybody who stands up against it, anybody who speaks out against it, are labeled all sorts of wonderful things. Istphobes, istophobes, Yahtzees. Yahtzees, that's the big one. It's the Yahtzees.
Yeah, alt-right trolls, all that stuff.
Just because you don't like a show, just because you don't like a show and you don't like what they're doing with the show, they can't talk about something without completely stepping over themselves. They want to talk about we're going to have the very first character that's in transition, folks. Does no one remember Dax? That's like the ultimate transition.
Yeah, and even before Dax in the TNG episode, The Host, where Beverly Crusher fell for the ambassador Odon, he transitioned. They took the Trill, they put it in Riker. She, was okay with that, and they put it in a female version of Odan, and that was great.
Yeah.
That was good. That explored that issue, and Beverly's like, yeah, it's a bridge too far for me.
But you know that never happened because we weren't in your face with it, Wes. We didn't have it right up in your face going, look at us, look at what we're doing.
They invented it. They invented Star Trek. They invented all this stuff. They're the best. If they just ignore and pretend it didn't exist, and they come up with their own version of Star Trek, they can just own the Star Trek label, and they did everything. They're the bestest ever.
Yeah, they're the bestest ever. And Robert Verlinden says, anyway, Star Trek died the second JJ laid his eyes on it.
Well, I mean, looking back, it certainly seems that way, Robert. I think the '09 movie, I thought it was okay. I thought it would have been okay as a one-off. Like, this is your vision of it. That's fine. You want to do an actiony thing? That's fine. I thought the '09 movie did some cool stuff. Like, it seemed to flesh out the world. It seemed a little bit more tangible and bigger. As far as
they had a wonderful cast too. They did have a wonderful cast. Bones was great. I thought Spock was. I love the kid that played Chekhov. I absolutely loved him. Nuclear vessels.
Yeah, Anton Yelchin.
Victor too. It's so sad what happened to him. So sad.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know. This is where I get put on my tinfoil hat, and I don't wonder if he was bumped off. But that's for another show. It's for another show.
Yeah, being backed up against it. What was this concrete mailbox? He had like a brick mailbox or something that he got. Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but anyway, that's just reckless speculation, folks.
Young upcoming actor, wasn't into the regular things that young upcoming actors were into, so there was no way they could do that. Yeah. He wasn't out there, putting his nose into something.
Yep, never know. So, yeah, let's see.
And Sit Room, yeah, I could live with the '09 movie because it was a different timeline. Well, that's now all incorporated, and CBS says whatever the timeline is, it's what they say. Canon doesn't matter. The timeline is ours to play with, and we will tell you what is prime timeline and what is not. And now we've got fucking Burnham in the future basically creating the Federation from scratch.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, going back to Discovery, I think if that's the thing. I mean, if you had a semi-competent writing team, here's where I thought they were going to go with it when they started Discovery. They had this funky, weird, experimental drive, and okay, so they were able to they took great pains to explain how the spore drive maps out things and how you can go to parallel universes and all that stuff, and then they established that you could time travel with it. Well, I thought what they were going to do is it's a black ops ship. They made it to where they never existed, but they still existed because they had the spore drive on the ship, and then they established that Michael Burnham could, in the third episode of season 1, that she could be, when Lorca showed her the spore chamber and how she went all to all the different places like the Iconians. So I thought they were gonna do something smart and make it to where they made it to where Discovery never existed. And that what we saw prior to that whole timeline that they were in, that never really existed, and that they're just going to be a ship out of time. But they had to make Mikey Spock the bestest ever. And,
they're going to do like an Andromeda copycat, is what they're going to do. That's the feeling I have. They are going to try and rebuild the lost civilization, and I can't even remember what it's called right now. It's too early in the damn morning, but it's Andromeda. It's Andromeda wrapped in Star Trek. You mean the plagiarism drive? Yes, Colin B. Smith. Yes, justice for Anas.
Justice for Anas. Yep, and Man. Yeah, Nos got a raw deal, and you know what? There's a certain YouTuber that recently made a troll video about the fandom menace. We'll call her Laverne, Laverne. So Laverne, turned his back on Anos when Anos was doing his appeal. When Laverne was supporting the guy, and then Laverne just recently made a video, trolling the fandom menace, claiming responsibility for some 4chan leaks. People like that just kind of make me sick. And I used to actually be a fan of Laverne's channel a while back.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. And Colin P. Smith, the Commonwealth, yes. And we've got a 199 Stream Element super chat from Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom. Thank you so much, Admiral, and score!
There it is! It's take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And Admiral Oliver Franklin's Doom says, I prefer to use my entertainment to get away from the hatred and bigotry, not have it shoved down my throat as the way everything should be. Thank you so very much, Admiral. Thank you, brother.
Yep. Thank you, Admiral OF Doom.
And MB Geek Let's Talk says, low-key, actors used to make movies and we had respect for them. They did not do this in your face. We are so much smarter and you dumb customers.
Yep. God. See, that's another thing. Star Trek The Next Generation, the episode 11001100 or whatever it was, with the binars. The binars were not... Jesus Christ, these people are freaking stupid.
Do you know the Robert Verlinden says, oh, Spore Drive. What the fuck? That's not science fiction. I have talked about this before. I got through 4 episodes of Discovery, and it was the Spore Drive episode where I was like, nope, see ya. I was done. I've tried. People are like, go back and watch it. Watch season 3. I have tried to go back and watch it. I just can't do it. I can get through a 30-minute slog or 22-minute slog of Lower Decks. I cannot get through an hour of that woke shit. I can't. I don't know how people do it. I give credit to people like Gary, credit to Doomcock, credit to the reviewers that actually watch this giant pile of Dren. Haha. Don't miss Captain Trek in my review of Farscape tomorrow. But it's horrible. I can't fucking watch it.
Well, hate watching is a thing, and I can do it because I get something out of the hate watch, at least. The outrage kind of fuels me when I'm watching it a little bit. But Lower Decks is just a snooze. I mean, it feels like that half hour feels like a 90-minute show to me. It's not even worth a hate watch.
Yeah. And Captain Trek says, remember, according to another YouTuber, the Fandom Menace is dying. You can't kill the Fandom Menace. The Fandom Menace can't die. As long as there are fans that are disgruntled over the shit that's going on, the Fandom Menace will live. There's nothing you can do to kill it. There's nothing you can do to watch it die, because as long as the fans are pissed off, the Fandom Menace will live on. That's what the Fandom Menace is a bunch of pissed off fans that have watched their IPs be destroyed by this woke fucking garbage.
Yep. I think I know which YouTuber you're talking about. I don't want to call anybody out here. Well, I don't want to give anybody press if it's something that I disagree with. Did they make one on Doomcock supposedly lying to his audience? Is that the person you're talking about?
The Captain Trek, I don't know. I know that there was a YouTuber that did do that. So I don't know if that's who Captain Trek's talking about or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, the only two that I'm thinking of would be that one and Laverne. But as far as the Spore Drive is concerned, okay, so I was willing to suspend a little bit of disbelief and give a little bit of leeway in that, they portrayed Stamets as kind of an eccentric genius. I like the character of Stamets, by the way. I thought that was well done, at least in the first season. As an eccentric genius, and they gave an explanation for it. It's astromycology. Okay, so you have a galactic phenomenon that isn't, based on mushrooms, but it manifests itself in a way that it's classified like that. He's an eccentric genius. Okay. But then they completely screwed that up. So,
And Captain Trek confirms Wes Moody webcast. Yes.
Well, yeah, I would have to disagree. That particular YouTuber, I'm a fan. So I'm not going to say anything else about it. I don't think that the Phantom Menace is dying. No, not at all. I think our numbers are growing daily.
Yeah, and it is on its third wave. Someone just put that in chat too. Derek McManus. Phantom Menace is on its third wave as new channels are rising up. In no way is it dying. No, it's not.
Yeah, our numbers. If you look at the last year, how many new channels we have, and the growth that we're having in channels, and both the audience those channels are garnering. Phantom Menace is far from dying. We're growing like crazy.
Yes. And Project Storytime Loki, remember Alex Kurtzman, glorious fleeting, except in Valhalla. Damn straight.
Yep. Healed.
And MB Geek says, West, let the hate flow through you.
I'll let the hate will flow.
And Lorena Krill, you have a good morning, Lorena. It's telling.
Bye, Lorena.
When they've got all of this content to draw from, and they just want to spend their time on woke bullshit. We saw that in the DC fandom event. Half that fandom event was shilling to a very specific group and a lot of ass kissing. They didn't even talk about comic books. They could have spent half that show talking about comic books. And instead it was, look how woke we are, everyone. Look how much we like drinking the green booby milk. And that's what they spent their time doing, instead of talking about comics, instead of talking about DC animated, and instead of talking about the wonderful characters they have. They had to spend half the time on woke, diverse bullshit.
Yep. Look, so there's a couple, we just want good stories. That's all we want. Good stories.
Yeah.
And here's the problem with these jackholes is that, look what happened to Vic Mignogna, and Walter Mosley. So Vic is a talent. Vic is a very talented man as a writer, as an actor, as a voice actor, as a director, very talented guy. And, Walter Mosley, very talented writer. And you put them around people that are not so talented and that are losers, and they lash out and they try to get these people canceled, or they snitch on them. And, it's a problem. It's a real problem when and all they have to cling to is their stupid, identity politics. Because if they were to stand on their own merits, these people, again, they'd be working at the drive-through window at Taco Bell.
Yeah, or Orange Julius.
Orange Julius, yes, that's funny little hat. Orange Julius in an empty mall.
An empty mall. Yeah, and that's where it's going. That's where it's going. I've talked about that Hollywood has its issues, and they really need to get their shit in check before people move on.
You can only live in fantasy land so long, and when you're losing money the way that these people are losing money, eventually reality is going to show up. Hey, maybe that's why they keep writing stories with people living in vans by the river, or, like what they're going to do with the new Batwoman, or why they had Raffi living in, a trailer squatting on federal land. It's because they're seeing their future. That's, they're going to relate to that. They know where they're going.
They know where they're going. Holy shit. I love that. No, I hadn't heard anybody say that. Oh, they see their future. They know exactly where they're going. Living in a van down by the river. Yeah. Or squatting somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. Squatting on, in a state park or something.
And Sitroom says, Loki, they don't know the content because they are not fans, nor will they research it. Do you think, we both know, because I know you know your Star Trek. We both know that for a long time during TNG, they were taking scripts from fans.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't do that today. There's no fucking way.
Isn't that how Michael Piller got hired? Was it Michael Piller?
Yeah, and I believe, don't sue me if I get her name wrong, Melinda Snodgrass.
Melinda Snodgrass, yes, she wrote 2 episodes, I believe, right? She really understood Riker's character quite a lot,
and she wrote Measure of a Man, which is one of the best TNG episodes out there.
It is, yep, yeah. She did an amazing interview with Robert Meyer Burnett a while back. It was really really enlightening. It was a great talk. I really enjoyed that interview quite a lot.
I don't think they would do that today. They wouldn't send a call out to the fans. Hey, send us your scripts. We'll get you involved in Star Trek. And those people that wrote in knew their content, folks. They knew their content. They had desks stacked with scripts from fans sending in scripts for the show ideas, ways to integrate things from the past. And they ran with it. It's one of the reasons why TNG took off the way it did after the first season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first half of the first season of TNG was pretty uneven, pretty rough. There really weren't many good episodes in the first half of the first season. I'm trying to think of one that I enjoyed. I think Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yep.
And the Arsenal of Freedom are the only 2 that I can really think of that I.
Welcome to Minos. Oh, I love that guy too. That actor, he's in everything. He's been in everything.
Yeah, wasn't he in Total Recall?
Yep, and he was the guy from Ghost.
Oh yeah, you ain't got a body no more, son.
Yeah, the guy in the subway guy. Oh shit, go away. but they got it on track, and they worked it out. I don't see them course correcting. I keep hearing that. Oh, well, TNG was horrible the first couple of seasons, and then they got it on track. Just wait. I'm sorry. These people don't realize that their shit sucks. You see, they listened to fans back during TNG. They listened to the masses. They listened to them. They said, okay, look, we understand that we're not replacing these characters. You keep saying this isn't TOS and bring back the original crew. We're not trying to replace the original crew. We're trying to tell a whole new story. And they tripped over their own feet because they used things from TOS. They used ideas from TOS. So they were kind of fighting against themselves. Once they got on track with, hey, this is a new thing, guys. These are new crew, new ship. Yeah, it's called the Enterprise, but we threw a D on there just to make sure everybody knows it's not the same ship. Like we wouldn't by seeing it.
Oh yeah.
That's not what Discovery is going to do. They are completely confident they're doing they're doing SJW's work on Discovery.
Absolutely. That's front and center. It's more important to them than the storytelling. And if you're storytelling, the storytelling should be the most important thing about storytelling. Just an opinion. I don't know.
And then Big Geek, let's talk. Loki, remember when that was shown in Galaxy Quest, they needed fans to save the day. Yeah, they did. They needed fans to save the day.
I love Galaxy Quest. It's an amazing film.
Yes. I absolutely love it. I love when he's at the store opening. Buy Grandpa's hammer. What a savings.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman nailed it. He really did. Alan Rickman nailed that movie.
I was so hoping they were going to do a sequel to that at some point. I thought that would have been cool. And then Alan Rickman died, and they couldn't do one without him.
No, I don't think they could. Not without bringing him back. They could of course write something in, but I wouldn't want them to come out with something like that now. Not right now. And that's the saddest part, isn't it? We can't hope they come back out with something right now. It's almost like, no, wait until this shit is over. Wait until this woke brigade woke shit is over. Wait till Hollywood realizes we have made a very fucking big mistake.
Well, at this point, it's getting to the point where, you know, I mean, look at what happened with Comicsgate. They just went off and made their own shit. And it's going to get to the point where, I mean, we're already starting to see it in our community, people making their own stuff. And it's just going to get to the point where they're going to be irrelevant. We're not even going to bother talking about them at some point. We're just going to make our own stuff and promote our own stuff. So, you know, I mean, they can keep going down this road if they want to. It's not going to end well.
No, it's not. And Samantha Joe says, Loki fans saved Farscape. They did. They got a movie made. They did the same thing with Firefly when they made Serenity. And the Expanse. And why? Because these things are great. Firefly captured the imagination of a huge fan base in one season, and it was they were out of order. They didn't air them. They didn't even air them in the correct order. So you want to talk about confusing? They didn't even air the episodes in the correct order. They completely screwed up, which Fox has a history of doing with its TV shows.
Yep.
But the question of, can it turn around? They don't want it to turn around. Okay, so I understand the argument. I get it. Oh, they could turn it around and it could be good one day. But they don't want to do that. They want to do exactly what they've been doing because they can't see past their own political bullshit.
They can't. And like, I mean, how many, Hollywood just, I'm looking at it. Well, you know, it really is a dumpster fire. And, you know, but the ironic thing is that the whole reason Hollywood started was because, you know, most of the film industry was off on the East Coast, and they had a very rigid type studio system, and the people that came out west to Hollywood, they were the rebels. They were kind of the fandom menace of their day, if you will, and went out and made their own stuff. And now Hollywood's become the establishment, and you know, it's ironic.
Yeah. And something else that's ironic, Captain Spire, I know exactly who you're talking about. Someone posted that their low-budget YouTube channel had more views than the Star Trek Day live streams. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And that man is Doomcock.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
Dude, I would love to see a Doomcock comic book, or like a Doomcock, short episode or short film. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe down the road he'll do one.
Well, there was one in a way. Would you guys like to see it? Let me see if I can pull this up. This was one of I made this for Doomcock many moons ago for his birthday. And it was just shortly after I joined his Patreon. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if I still have it saved. You know what? I'll just go to YouTube because I'm pretty sure I have it buried in my old videos.
Yeah, I did.
Just a second, guys.
I did create the Doom buggy, so that was cool.
Did you ever see his movie, the movie clip, Doomcock versus Harvey, the movie?
No.
All right, let's see. It's copyright claim like a motherfucker, so I'm going to play it. I'll send you a link, Wes.
All right.
I will send you a link. Get shareable link. And I'll send it to you over on Twitter. It is in my videos, guys, if you can find it. I'll just throw the link out in YouTube. There it is. If you guys want to see Doomcock versus Harvey, the movie, That is the YouTube link for it. And I'll throw it to you in your Twitter, Wes. When fans can create a better experience than the damn people spending millions of dollars on a single episode, it's telling. There's more creativeness in Star Trek Continues than there is in the entirety of CBS right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Vic really understood Star Trek, and me and the panel and the chat were even kind of debating that in a way Star Trek Continues might even be might benefit. It might be just a hair above TOS because it benefits from having a singular vision and having as where the original series had different writers and it was very episodic, but Vic understanding what the original series was, when they set out to do their 11 episodes, they had a season long arc that pays off really well in the end. And they also have the episodic nature of it. And it feels more like a cohesive single vision, but he so understands what Trek is about that each of those episodes is just amazing. Even the types of episodes that I didn't particularly care for in the original series, Vic was doing those and continues. And it still is amazing. They did one that was set in the Civil War, and usually I'm not into those were the kind of Trek episodes that I didn't particularly like too much. But Vic did it in a way that it really, really made a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'd like to welcome Orbital Nation. Hail, PJ, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, PJ.
How are you doing? And Colin P. Smith says Star Trek Continues is the final season of TOS. I completely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Completely agree.
Absolutely. It bridges into, the motion picture era very nicely. Gives a good explanation for why Kirk decides to, become an admiral and why the characters went the ways that they did, where you see that where they end up in the beginning of the motion picture. It's so good. It's so good. They really understand, and there are Easter eggs here, there, and everywhere in Star Trek Continues. And then, part of it, not just the writing, but the execution of it. I mean, they got Lou Ferrigno to play an Orion. They got Lou Ferrigno to come on there in green makeup. How cool is that?
Yeah, back in the green.
Yeah, and then they got like Aaron Gray in there. It was cool to see Aaron Gray in Star Trek.
Thank you, Kev L. I had a lot of fun making it. I did. I had a lot of fun making that Doomcock versus Harvey. I even asked for his permission to borrow something. Harvey saying, "Haiti, hi there, ho there." I was like, "Can I use that?" He's like, "What for?" I'm like, "Well, it's something I'm making for you." He goes, "Yeah, sure, go ahead."
Yeah, it's dude, yeah, I think down the road, like a Doomcock cartoon or a Doomcock movie or content with Doomcock creating his own little world or letting us do it, that would be great.
Yeah. And Crazy Eyed Jedi says, "I remember Star Trek being first run, begging my dad to stay up to see Kirk and Spock and McCoy." Crazy Eyed Jedi, when I was very young, my dad was out on deployment a lot. He flew off of aircraft carriers. And when he was home, I got to stay up late with him and I got to watch Star Trek. And that's one of my very first memories, is being so happy that I could sit there and watch Star Trek with him when he was home.
Absolutely. I have a similar story, as it being a bonding experience with my father. And that's that, I never really got along particularly well with my father. And he and my brother, it seemed like they got along a lot better. But one of the things that my father and I did bond over was the love of science fiction and the love of Star Trek. That was something that he and I, we both enjoyed. And it was one of the few things that we connected on. And it's just so I have that. When I look at Star Trek, I get those good feelings of the times that we had enjoying Star Trek together. And when you see something like the stuff that's coming out now that's so cynical and preachy and one-sided and short-sighted, it makes me want to puke my guts out.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like you said, it's all short-sightedness. They don't understand the damage, the long-term damage they are doing. They don't.
They don't at all. It's or they don't care. I mean, just I mean, when you're, did I disappear?
No, you're here. You're
Okay.
here.
I thought I just had an internet hiccup. So you can't live in fantasy land forever. I mean, you gotta. First of all, I mean, it's bad storytelling, and second of all, it's not making money. So why the heck are you making it? Why the heck are you making more of it? And why the heck are you giving this Kurtzman, chance after chance after chance? I mean, again, if this were the real world and you had these kinds of results, somebody like that would have been fired a long time ago.
They don't want to make their own IPs, Wes. They don't, because if it doesn't work, it's on them. That's one of the things I figured out a couple years ago, is if they come out with something new and it doesn't work, they're blamed for it. Well, your idea didn't work, your show didn't work, we're canceling you, yada, 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 yada. If they go into something like Star Trek, all they have to do is say, well, it's not our fault. This is great. It's theirs. It's the fans. They're ists. They're istophobes. And they're Yahtzees. And that's why we're getting the bad press, is because it's all their fault. It's not our fault. Our stuff's great and revolutionary and woke as fuck.
I suddenly have an urge to drink a shot of wheatgrass for some reason.
Or green booby milk.
Oh, yep.
Green soy booby milk.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Luke Skywalker.
You can get those at Star Wars Land.
I've heard they're pretty gross.
Accountability, Orville Nation. Yep, Wes, accountability.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's like Robert Meyer Burnett said, it's not what you deserve, it's what you negotiate. And I guess Kurtzman had some good people on the business end.
Yeah, he did. Bad Reboot has made their play. They're into Star Trek like a tick, and it's not going to go away. I've heard all kinds of stuff. I heard Alex is leaving. I've heard Alex is going to get fired. Hell, I did a video almost 6 months ago about Alex being fired because I drank the Kool-Aid and believed it. They're not going to fire Kurtzman. They're not going to get rid of Kurtzman. It's just going to be the same shit over and over and over again. And it's politics. It's what it comes down to. It's all politics and money in Hollywood. Who you know. It's not about what you do. It's about who you know.
Unfortunately, sometimes the real world works that way too.
Yeah.
I half wonder if the head of CBS didn't wake up with a horse head in their bed and, a note saying, hire Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah, hire Alex Kurtzman or else. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yep. Alex Kurtzman? No, he's an idiot. Oh, yeah? You're going to regret this. And then, wake up with horse head in his bed. Okay, I'll hire him.
Oh, shit. And JJ put it there.
Yeah, it would have been JJ. Yeah, Hollywood, has some pretty deep. That was, Godfather was fiction, just an aside here, but man, you read about the history of Hollywood and that's, there's some, I don't doubt that kind of crap happened because there's some bad people involved in Hollywood, those mobsters and stuff like that. Like I watched this documentary called The Last Mogul about this guy, Lou Wasserman. Yeah, that guy was something else. Check it out, guys, if you can. The Last Mogul. I think it's on Netflix or Amazon.
Cool. I will check it out.
Yep.
So before we get out of here, if you could get the ear of CBS for 5 minutes, what would you tell them?
What would I tell them? Man, I don't think there's anything I could tell them at this point that they would listen to. I'd probably say, please. I would say, if we're talking about Trek, I would say, if Alex Kurtzman has a contract that needs to be bought out, get rid of him. And I would say, Emma Watts, pick up the phone, talk to Vic Mignogna, and say, hey, we'll give you some seed money to create your own Star Trek. You have full creative control over it, and all we want are just like some points on whatever money we make on it. That's what I'd tell them. Because Vic already, I mean, look what he was able to do with $1 million. $1 million.
Yeah, 1 million.
That's it.
Not $1 million. What is it? 11 episodes.
11 episodes. Not $1 million an episode. It was $1 million total. Wow.
And that's creativeness. That's when your creative energy is so powerful that you can do something. What are you looking at? Less than $100,000 an episode compared to multiple millions for one episode. And it's better than the shit they come out with.
Not just by a little, by a lot.
By a
lot better.
That's what happens when you hire really good people that care about what they are doing.
Yep.
And that's all we want. People can talk about the Phantom Menace is dying, or the Phantom Menace this, or the Phantom Menace that. All the Phantom Menace wants is more respect and better treatment of the IPs that we love, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Star Trek, whether it's Battlestar Galactica, no matter what the hell it is. We just want better treatment of the things that we love.
Indeed. Well, with respect to folks that say that kind of stuff, I mean, if you're, many times the folks that are saying that stuff, the channel is getting a little stagnant, and I can't. And lashing out, I don't think is the answer. I have a rule: don't speak ill of thy fellow YouTuber, and I think it's much better to kind of charge up with positive energy. I mean, we rip Star Trek Discovery and Kurtzman Trek, of course, but it really deserves it. But as far as other YouTubers and stuff, get your own house in order first, and in a way, I kind of feel a little sorry for them, because I kind of liken them, people that make those assertions or that become, Kurtzman Trek apologists. They're just like a battered wife that at some point they just keep coming back to this abusive relationship with CBS, and you just need to leave. You just need to leave them. They just pack up and get out of their abusive relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, and Captain Spire, Loki, just like Babylon 5, had a bare bones budget, and the CGI is made fun of. But we'd rather watch season 1 of B5 than any season of the CGI mess of STP and STD. That's right.
And you know what? Babylon 5 had Trek actors making cameos and making appearances on Babylon 5. So how many actors? See, that's another thing Vic did that was brilliant. You have Marina Sirtis as the computer voice, and you had John Delancey playing the leader of a planet in Star Trek Continues. Did a brilliant job too, by the way. And I believe they had the guy that played Daystrom in I forget the name of the episode, but it was one with the Ultimate Computer. Yeah, I think that's what it was. They had that guy in Star Trek Continues, and you never get these cool cameos in any of the Kurtzman Trek. I mean, you had Frakes direct a couple of episodes, and even the Orville had Trek actors on it. I mean, these people just don't understand what they have.
No, they don't. They don't, and they never will. They never will. And like I said, Hollywood's done that for years. They did it with They did it with Firefly. They didn't know what the hell they had. They had something great, something that was going to be big, and they didn't even realize it. They treated it like crap. And they take these woke ass bullshit shows like STD, and they pour all these resources in it. It's not even worthy of it.
Yep.
And MB Geek Let's Talk, they really picked the wrong culture to try to woke it up. Never a good idea to screw with an established IP that have a built-in fan base.
Absolutely.
Be back builders rather than backbiters, Trinoculus P. That's why I watch Fandom Menace creatives. They promote each other even if their opinions differ. That's true.
Absolutely, Trinoculus. I've had some, see, that's the thing. We can disagree in the Fandom Menace, and we often do, and it's respectful, and the debates are intelligent. And to give you an illustration, me and Culture Casino have disagreed on air before. And you'll notice on Twitter, sometimes, every once in a while I will engage a Trekkie. Like there's was it Trekkie tantrums or something. So here's and Laverne, the one I was talking about that made the the 4chan, that claimed responsibility for the 4chan leaks or whatever. So none of these people talk about what they like about Kurtzman Trek. They won't name, and I've got into a big long Twitter thread with Trekkie tantrums and the Trekkies on there. I was like, okay, what is your favorite episode of Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek Picard? Why? How did it make you feel? And what did you like about it? And they won't name it. They won't name one.
No. No, they won't.
Yeah, and Laverne doesn't name any of those on her channel either. So,
well, what we want, ladies and gentlemen, is respect. We want respect for our shows. We're not even asking for respect for ourselves. We're asking for respect about the shows we love. We want the history of our shows to be respected. We want the history of our movies to be respected. And all they want to do is, quote, fix it, unquote, because all they see is something wrong with it. If all you see is something wrong with it, you don't really deserve to have anything to do with it, do you? If you had a business, Wes, and someone wanted to be in charge of it that hated that business, would you put them in charge of it?
Absolutely not. I'd probably tell them to get the fuck out.
Yeah, you tell them to get the fuck out. Well, that's what Hollywood's doing. Hollywood is hiring writers, directors, showrunners that don't like or appreciate the project they're working on. Ask any one of us here to have something to do with Star Trek. And we do it for free. We do it for free. We would give up our free time.
Absolutely. I totally put pen to pad and ink up an episode of Trek. Vic Mignogna, $250,000 of that $1 million came from him. The rest of it was all crowdfunded.
And Showback TJC, Loki, Wes, bless your heart, but I don't think I would have disguised Laverne. I would have called them out in all their glory.
I don't want to give Laverne any press, and I don't want to give Laverne any views. So Laverne is going to remain disguised.
As Laverne. Well, I want to thank you. Thank you, Wes, for coming on today. I know that over the past year, we have tried to work on a schedule for you to come on in the morning. And thank you, brother, for being here. I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, thanks for having me. See, I got in touch with my inner morning person. I put my night owl to the side and I said, I'm going to be a morning person today.
No Mega Man after midnight.
Right.
no Mega Man tonight, guys, after midnight. I got to be on Loki's show in the morning. Well, I appreciate it, brother. This has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on here and adding to my content, brother. I love you. And I love your show, guys. If you are not subscribed to Wes Moody and this is the first time you guys have seen him, go and check out his channel. I love his content. I love his late night stuff when he's up late and he's playing Mega Man, or he's having a conversation, or he's watching Star Trek Continues. I love getting the chance if I'm up being a night owl. I love getting the chance to watch his shows. And there's his link in chat. Check out his content. If you like it, subscribe and bang that bell. We will be back tomorrow for our review of Farscape, and I might play some pinball tonight. I might get on and play some pinball tonight live.
Ooh, nice. What kind of pinball machine do you have?
I don't have a pinball machine. I wish I had a real pinball machine. No, I'm playing Pinball FX3. There's a bunch of different tables on there you can play on. Aliens versus Predator, Jaws. They've got a Universal Monster Pack that I just picked up the other day that's got the old monster movies on it. Back to the Future, all the Marvel tables. There's even some really, really good Star Wars table and a really groovy Family Guy table that I've got.
It's on my bucket list to get an Indiana Jones pinball machine. When I was a teenager and I worked at the pizza joint that I worked at, we would just like drink beer and play that thing all night.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. And guys, have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful Wednesday. It is hump day. So get out there and hump the day. And we will catch you guys all on the next Mornings of Mischief.
Thank you, guys. Best chat on YouTube. We love you.
Yes.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.